I'm told that you choked your mother, you put a knife to her throat, you pushed her down to the ground, you punched her on her chest and stomach, you take her social security checks. Is this true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay. Why do you do that to your mother?
I do because I want to get high. I mean, I have a bad feeling inside, but I mean, after I get high, the feeling is gone.
It can't be the three of us anymore. It got to be me and you, or it got to be you and the drugs. I can't take it.
What exactly is going to stop me from going back there right now and kicking this guy's ass?
I need my son to stand up and be a man that I taught him to be.
Get over here, young man. Do you know how much rage I have in me right now? I stand here and I see a man who's had one of the best mothers I've ever ran across, and this is the way you treat your mother. I don't think you feel my rage. I don't think you know how I feel right now. Welcome to the show. My first guest is Ken. And Ken, I'm told that you choked your mother, you put a knife to her throat, you pushed her down to the ground, you punched her on her chest and stomach, you take her social security checks, and you wrote checks in your dead grandfather's name.
Yes.
Is this true?
Yes, it's true.
Okay. So let's say you stand up while I ask you questions on why this happened. You can understand why I have a problem with the guy hitting his own mother, right?
Yeah, I understand.
And I don't want you to be comfortable on my stage. If you make your own mother uncomfortable, then you don't get to be comfortable, okay? Now, here's the million-dollar question, Ken. Why do you do that to your mother?
I do because I want to get high, and I know that she had the money.
So you're okay with beating your mom and putting a knife to her throat and everything else?
I mean, I have a bad feeling inside, but
What's
hey,
that bad feeling?
that I may hurt her, I may kill her, but I mean, after I get high, the feeling is gone.
But the feeling is bad while you're doing it, right?
Right.
Well, is there some instinct in you as a, how old are you?
I'm 24.
You're 24 years old, so you're a young man.
Correct.
Do you work?
No, because I can't get a job. I've been in prison twice, and she put me in there.
And why did she put you in prison?
For assaulting her and stealing money out of her purse.
Well, does that come to as a shock to you that she did that?
Yeah,
Really?
that's my mom.
Oh, that's my mom. And she shouldn't do that to you, right?
Correct.
Oh, but it's okay to put the knife to her throat and push her and punch her and do that so you can get high.
No, it's not right, but she should have just gave me the money.
Isn't love a two-way street there, Ken?
Yeah. But
This woman that raised you, was she a good mother?
yeah, she was a good mom.
Did she abuse you?
No,
Did she turn you on to drugs?
no.
Then why does she have to pay the penalty?
I mean, because she put me in prison. I mean, I cook for her. She's sick. So I cook for her, clean. I do wherever I could. Whenever I was working, I gave her money no matter what.
And then you what? You wanted to steal it back?
No, that was fine because I worked.
You can't get over the concept that your mom put you in prison.
Correct.
Correct. And I can't get over the concept of you putting a knife to your mother's throat. Correct. Is your mother in good health?
No.
Is your mother sickly?
Correct.
Correct. If your sickly mother that raised you, that has done nothing wrong to you, was a good mother by your own words, then why would you do this to your own mother?
Because she had put me in prison.
Because of what you did to her.
I need him to stand up and be a man that I taught him to be.
What exactly is going to stop me from going back there right now and kicking this guy's ass? Get over here, young man. I stand here and I see a man who's had one of the best mothers I've ever ran across, and this is the way you treat your mother. I don't think you feel my rage. I don't think you know how I feel right now. I've been told your mother's in poor health. She's got an aneurysm, and she's got a clogged valve in her heart.
Yeah.
And you're jumping on her and you're putting knives to her throat.
Yeah.
You're a good son. I was being sarcastic, by the way. And so growing up, what was your relationship with your mom?
It was great.
It was great.
It was great. I mean, when I eat, she brought me wherever I wanted. If I needed $50, she gave me $50, no question asked.
And she made sure you went to school?
Yeah, I went to school every day.
Were you involved in any activities in school?
I played football.
She come to your games?
Yeah, she came to every game.
She cheer you on?
Well, they pick me up from practice every day.
Something's missing here. Something is. What kind of drugs are you on, Ken?
I do crack and cocaine.
There you go, America. See what crack and cocaine does? You'll harm your own mother, the single mom that worked her ass off to provide for you, to make sure you grew up, that you were safe, comes to your football games to cheer you on, to one day have her son put a knife to her throat. Are you proud of yourself?
No, I'm not proud.
Do you feel bad about what you did?
Yes, I feel bad. That's why I emailed the show for.
So you emailed the show?
Yes.
And why did you email the show?
I emailed the show because I was tired of stealing from my family, lying to my family, hurting my mama. I want to stop, but I just don't know how.
Well, maybe the crack didn't eat up all your brain. So you don't work, right?
Correct.
What was your last job?
I used to be a correction officer.
If I ever go to jail, I want you to be my jail guard. You were a corrections officer.
Yeah.
So you worked in a jail?
Yeah.
A prison or a jail?
A prison.
You worked in a prison?
Yeah. I did a good job of it, too.
You did a good job of it. So when you were a corrections officer, and you're walking up and down the line right in front of all the cell doors, what about those guys behind those cells? What'd you think about them?
Some I felt sorry for, some I didn't.
Because you ended up in the same place that you were working at, right?
Right, twice.
Twice! So you would think that a guy who's working in a prison, walking up and down there and dealing with these guys, you would think, I never, ever want to end up here. I mean, I've done shows from prison, but when I was a police officer, I never actually had went to a prison. But as a cop, I knew I certainly wasn't going to go. I'm not going. I didn't want to go. I didn't even want to visit anybody I knew in there. Because prison's a pretty scary place, right?
No. You get 3 meals a day, watch TV all day. Stuff is a whole lot cheaper.
Stuff's it's like Costco for prisons. So, weren't you getting that at home? The 3 meals a day? The watching TV? Things are a lot cheaper. Mom paid for everything for you when you were growing up. So you're telling me prison was better than home life?
To me, it was.
What exactly did you like about being in prison, Ken?
I love prison because I knew I couldn't hurt my mama and lie to my family no more about what I was doing.
Good answer. Good answer. You were starting to scare me a little bit there. But honestly, Ken, you got to tell me, you wouldn't want to go back, right?
Correct.
When you were in there, when you were in prison, you couldn't have had too much enjoyment, right?
Right.
Pretty tough in there? Did you get any beefs with some guys?
No, I worry about my mom every minute of the day.
But I'm saying, as a former guy, a corrections officer, I know certainly what happens to policemen that get sent to jail. Life's pretty tough in there for them because now they're dealing with the guys that they sent to prison. Now here's a correctional officer that you had to put the bad guys in check. Now you're in jail. I gotta imagine you had a few beefs while you were in prison with some guys.
No, because the state made sure I was safe.
Well, they made sure you were safe. Isn't that nice? The state made sure you were safe.
All right.
But Ken, the big man, doesn't keep his own mother safe.
Kid, you knows what's right. You knows what's wrong. I can't take it.
You should cry. I feel sorry for a woman that worked her butt off 7 days a week to provide for you. And then what do? You turn around and you put a knife to her neck. You steal from her. She did nothing wrong. Now that you're out of jail or prison, where do you live?
I live with my mom.
Your mom, when you got out of prison, took you back in?
At first she didn't, but I told her lies that I wouldn't change, and eventually
You
she
told her
walked back.
lies that you would change.
Yes.
Why wouldn't you change? When they open up that cell door, I gotta imagine it's a pretty good feeling walking out of prison, right?
All right.
Didn't you say, I might want to change my ways?
I changed for 3 months, then I went back to the old neighborhood and hang out with the guys, and I went right back to the same thing.
Why? Why wouldn't you say, I'm gonna stay away from those guys because I end up putting a knife to my mother's throat?
Because I'm stupid.
You're not that stupid because you wouldn't write me an email and ask for help, right? You typed an email to the show. So you're not that stupid, Ken. You know, you said you were glad that you were in jail because you couldn't hurt your mother. I mean, yeah, you're stupid for doing a lot of the dumb things that you did, but you have some brains in there. You know that you shouldn't be doing that. So what made you go back to doing that? Why not be productive in your one life? Why not be nice to the woman that brought you into the world? See, as a father now, I probably couldn't even do this show. But now as a father, I look at my children, and to think that one day that one of them would put a knife to my throat, that my children would steal from me, that my children would try to hurt me, is beyond comprehension. I can't even think of like what you did to your mom, doing that to my mom. Sometimes my parents say stuff and I'm like, they're crazy. But I don't say anything. I keep my mouth shut out of respect because I love my parents. You think your grandfather, if he was still alive, he'd be really proud of you?
No.
And that doesn't affect you anyway?
I mean, it's affected me a whole lot.
How's it affected you? Affected you so much that you want to stay out of trouble when you got out of prison?
I mean, because right before he died, I wrote a check on him for $900.
Now, twice you said, now you took your grandfather's money because you want the money, right?
Right.
To go get high, right?
Right.
And you say you take your mother's money because you want to go get high.
Right.
So what if I wanted to go out and eat a big, fat, juicy steak tonight, and I came up to you and said, give me your money? What would you tell me?
I don't have no money.
And if you had some money?
Here, take it.
Here, take it. Really? You would just give it to me?
Yeah, because it's not worth my life.
I'm not saying I'm putting a knife to your throat. I said, just give me your money. Would you give me your money?
Yeah.
Because if some guy came up to me on the street and said, hey, give me your money, Steve, I'd say, no. Simple, no. How about your mother who needs it? Like, she is sickly. She raised you, her part's done. You're 24 years old, you're a grown man. How come you're not out there taking care of yourself at 24 years old? And then when you get out of prison, what do? You run back to the one woman that was been kind to you your whole life, and you continually abuse her. You are a 24-year-old man. Why don't you grow up and take care of yourself? You know, I'm guessing not everybody in this audience is employed, but you know what? I think most of them work, and they're, in between 20 and 50 and 60. And you know what they do? They work, they provide for their families. I'm sure when you came out of your mother, she held you in her arms and had such high hopes for you. And you delivered on some part. You became a corrections officer, and you became something that you contributed to your community. And what did you do with it? You smoked it all up. You smoked it all up. And now what does your mother have to look at? Somebody that she's afraid of. So now I'm going to talk to your mother, and I'm going to ask you to leave my stage.
All right.
We're going to meet Ken's mother now, Mary. Let's bring her out. It's nice to meet you.
Nice meeting you.
Have a seat, man. Mary, just a little background on yourself. You raised your son as a single mother,
Yes, I did.
and you worked the whole time raising him?
Yes, I did.
And he said that when you made sure he was in school, he made sure that whatever he wanted, you basically gave it to him. He played football, you went to all his games.
Yes, I did.
Describe yourself as a mother to me.
As a mother, I feel like that when you have a child, that you become secondary, and that whatever, you put your child first, and you provide for that child. You make sure that well and raised in a well-balanced home. Look out for them, keep them from harm and dangers in the home and out the home. Be there for your child, and to let them know that I'm here no matter what's going on. I'm behind you. And it's like that prayer. As a mother, you don't see, when you walk with your children and stuff, you don't see one footprint in the sand, you see two, because you're there that when your child falls, you're there to catch them, hold them up, and say, we can go on.
Do you know, ma'am, everything that just came out of your mouth, I should print on a board, and we should put that on stage, because it's the best thing any mother's ever said on my stage.
Thank you.
Here's a mother that deserves, this is what's a mother that's right in America. Single mom, not making excuses. You did everything for your son, and everything that you just said is what I believe in too. Oh yeah, Kenny boy, this is the woman you want to abuse.
It can't be the three of us anymore. It got to be me and you, or it got to be you and the drugs. I can't take it. You just need to go head on, make up your mind that I'm going to be a man that I taught you to be, because it's time to stop playing. It's time for you to say, I want to help my mother.
I know you're here because you want me to help your son, right?
Yes, I do. Well, it's like this. We only have one another. And I'm disabled and stuff. And I cannot do my housework. I cannot cook for myself. I cannot do anything. And, my sister, she worked. And my brother worked. So he helps me.
You need him because you're in poor health, and the only people you have is each other.
It's just each other. Since my father passed away, which I was caretaker of him, which he took very good care of my father. But at this point in time, I need my son to be there for me, to help me, because I'm not able to do it by myself. I will suffer in the long run because of bad health and stuff. But I need him to stand up and be a man that I taught him to be the caretaker that I taught him to be. And I want him which I feel like that he wants to do it, but he has this handicap, which is drugs and stuff, that won't let him do it because he chooses to go that route.
That's right. That's not a handicap. That's not a disability. That was a fine young man up to one point that you raised the right way. And this man who says he loves you, he loves you so much, he put a knife to your throat.
He did.
Now, I got it's so crazy, man. When you did all this for your son, and I can see that you obviously love your son.
I do.
When he put that knife to your throat, what was going through your mind?
It was very unexpectedly. I was walking from the living room to the kitchen, then all of a sudden he grabbed me and put it to my neck. And I knew then that that was going to be the end of me because I knew he was high. But he does things like that to me when he high, pushing me against things, big bruises and stuff. But when he high, he only seen that dragon that he's carrying and don't care about anyone. Like, you know, it's all about me.
And because you were scared, you did call the police and had him locked up a couple times, right?
Yes, I did. I give him many chances also.
You gave him many chances where you didn't call the police.
And then I called the police.
When he got out of prison this last time, and was this the knife incident?
No, the knife incident was beforehand.
Okay, well, with this last time, what did he go to jail for doing to you?
Attempt common law robbery and assault on the female because he did choke me. It was...
He put his hands around your throat?
Yes, he did. The last time that he went to prison, it was after we had just buried my father and came home, and he had took the money that Sunday, and that Monday he was wanting the rest of it that people had given to me for my father in burial. And he tried choking me. And that was very scary because I had, back here in June, I had just had a back operation.
You just get done burying your father, which I got to imagine is pretty traumatic for you,
yes,
losing your father.
Yes.
And then you come home, and he wants to steal the money that the people gave you to help you out to bury your father.
Yes, he did.
What exactly is going to stop me from going back there right now and kicking this guy's ass? You know, this is one of the worst stories I've ever heard, because we get guys on the show, girls, parents weren't there for them, parents abused them, sexually, physically, did all these crazy things with their kids, abandoned them, took off. Here, you're working your life away to support this, and I don't mean to offend you, this slug who's 24 years old now, who wants to rob his mother after your father had just passed away. I mean, I've never, I do the show, and I always say, I'm not going to be surprised. I'm surprised. I'm shocked. This is one of the craziest stories I've ever heard of. He wants to rob his mother after your father just died. His grandfather, was his grandfather good to him?
Yes, my father was great with him. My father, he loves his grandkids, but he was the closest, and my father would do anything for him. All he had to do was ask. It can't be the three of us anymore. It got to be me and you, or it got to be you and the drugs. I can't take it. You just need to go head on, make up your mind that I'm going to be a man that I taught you to be, because it's time to stop playing. It's time for you to say, I want to help my mother.
As a mother, how do you feel the way he treats you?
I feel bad because you expect that from someone on the outside, not from someone in your home. To me,
especially not someone that came out of your womb.
that's true.
Why this last time especially, why did you let Ken back in the house? Why did you let him back in the house?
I told him that he couldn't come back, and I meant it. But my health had started to fail and stuff. And at that time, 2 weeks after he went to a mission, and 2 weeks, and I went to visit him there. 2 weeks after he got back into the house, I got real sick.
So you let him in because the only person that you have that can help you is your son.
It's my son.
And did he tell you he was going to change and everything else?
Yes, he did. He said that he was going to change, that he was going to do better.
Was he okay for a little bit? Or?
Oh, yeah. He was fine for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, that was one of the reasons that I moved from my home that was pretty well paid for to an apartment to get him away from the neighborhood. But then I talked to him, and I told him that he don't need to go around that neighborhood.
So you sold your house that you said was almost paid for and took an apartment so you would keep him away from the bad influence.
Well, the family felt like that I didn't need to be out there by myself since my father had passed away because we lived in the
Right.
rural area and stuff. And so while he was in prison, I did move. And I wrote him and let him know well, he wrote me first to let him know where I was at and stuff, and I stayed in contact. Yes, I did, to keep him from that bad neighborhood, but he, I guess, got that I'm strong enough that I can go back to the neighborhood, and the same dramatized started again. And it's to the point now that I don't want to hurt my child. I love my child. But it's getting to the point now that it's getting worse and worse, and I get in my head, it's going to either be me or him if he come at me the wrong way. And I do not believe, no matter how old they are, to abuse a child, because my mother did not raise me that way.
You know, I'm just figuring out in my head, because this isn't a child. I took a child last week to jail, to prison, to show him what his life would be like, to try to change that young man's life. Mm-hmm. But here we're talking about a 24-year-old man who not only worked in a prison,
True.
He served 2 terms in prison.
Yes.
So I can't do that. That's not gonna scare him straight. This is a man that said, hey, prison's not so bad. I got 3 square meals a day and things are cheap. Like, what am I gonna do to straighten this young man out? I know I'd like to send him down to my father and have my father raise him for a few years.
Yeah.
Because I'm a little busy raising my own kids, and I wish my dad was a young enough man because he wouldn't put his hands on you, and I guarantee you, Ken would not be on crack. He'd keep him walking a straight line. So when I'm here, I'm gonna help you tell your son, no more.
Okay.
No more. Ken, why don't you drag your butt back out here on this stage?
Kendrick, I love you, but I'm tired of you abusing me. I want you to get right, to do right. It's to the point now, Kendrick, I just want to live my life to the point that I can just, there's gonna be trouble and stuff, and I know that. But yet and still, Kendrick, it can't be the 3 of us anymore. It got to be me and you, or it got to be you and the drugs. I can't take it. You just need to go head on, make up your mind that I'm going to be a man that I taught you to be, because you know how to take care of yourself. You went way up there to Georgia, the middle of Georgia. You took care of yourself. You went to college. You took care of yourself that whole semester. You know how to go out and work, because you worked up there. Kids, you knows what's right. You knows what's wrong. I raised you in the church. Your grandmother raised you in the church. It's time to stop playing. It's time for you to say, I want my family. I want my mother. I want to help my mother.
I want you to be a son that she can count on and help her with her health problems. I better hear the most heartfelt apology that I've ever heard in my life right now to your mother. Get over here, young man. Do you know how much rage I have in me right now?
Yeah.
Do you really? I don't think you do. Because you don't have my life experiences. Do you know how many children I've seen in my lifetime that don't have a mother? That have been abused because their mother wasn't around? That they didn't have a mother to protect them? I stand here and I see a man who's had one of the best mothers I've ever ran across, and this is the way you treat your mother? I don't think you feel my rage. I don't think you know how I feel right now. You should cry, because I feel like crying. I feel sorry for a woman that worked her butt off 7 days a week to provide for you. And then what do? You turn around and you put a knife to her neck? You steal from her? And she did nothing wrong. The best mother. Your mother is one of the best mothers I've ever run across. The things that hold on a second. The things that she said, she put you first, as every good parent should. She worked her butt so she could give you everything, so you would be fed. She had nobody. And when there was a threat to you and her, she was smart and strong and got rid of the threat. And what's her reward at the end of her life for raising a child the right way? What's her reward? A son that will steal, lie, possibly kill his mother by pushing her down because she has an aneurysm. That's her reward. How about all the people out there who don't have a mother? One day, I don't know who will go first, you or your mom, because your lifestyle doesn't tend to live a long time. But someday when your mom's gone, when she's gone, and you can't say you're sorry anymore, when she's gone for good, what are you going to feel, Ken? You're going to feel, wow, my mom, I treated her really good. She's up in heaven. She's probably looking down on me. And the sad part is, she will be. She'll always love you. She'll always treat you good. She'll give you chance after chance. But no more. No more. You hurt her. And you know what? Now there's not the three of us. Now there's the drugs and the three of us. That makes the four of us. I want to help you, young man. I certainly do. Because helping you will help me get the rage out of me that I feel for you right now. And I'm doing this because I want a mother to have her son back that she used to have. A son, the only person in her life that she can count on through difficult times. I want you to be a son that she can count on and help her with her health problems. That's why I'm going to do this. So, but before I help you, I better hear the most heartfelt apology that I've ever heard in my life right now to your mother.
Mom, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, I want to change.
I want you to
Get over there
change.
by your mother. I think there's a little more apology in you. I think there's a little more, Ken.
I'm sorry for stealing from you. Judge, I'm sorry for assaulting you. I just need some help. I'm sorry for putting a knife through your throat.
Okay, I just want you to do right. That's all I asked of you, to be the man that I taught you to be. That's all. Do I have your promise that with this help that things gonna be different?
I will change, Mom.
I want you to. I really do. I really do.
I love you.
I love you too.
I want to believe everything that you just said. I really do. But only time will tell. I can't promise the audience, people watching at home, that we turn Ken's life around in an hour. I'm not going to make a stupid statement like that. But what if you want my help? You leave straight from here, and you go with one of my police officers, and you go straight to rehab. No going home, no packing your things. You go straight to rehab. That's part of the deal. Do you agree to that?
Yes.
And ma'am, you told our producers that you've fallen behind with your electric bills, water bills, and everything else.
Yes.
Well, we're going to help you, and we're going to get your bills all current, okay? And we're going to get him cleaned up. We're going to send him to rehab, and we're going to take him right now.
Okay.
So say goodbye to your mom.
Bye. Wish you well. And always, I love you.
Andrew, don't fail. Hey, listen, before you go, don't fail your mom. You're never going to get this chance again. So make the most of it. Goodbye.
Just remember to keep God first. Because
Keep your mother first. I gotta say, you are a saint.
thank you.
And really, you are a blue book plan for every young mother out there how to be. Raise your son. Make sure, be involved in her life. You know, you are what I want every mother in America to be. That's what, you are an inspiration to me and to every woman out there watching. And I'm telling you, if Ken, I hope, Ken, and I believe, and I know you do too, I think in his heart that he wants to change because he did contact the show, and he does want help, and we're gonna give it to him.
Thank you.
And I'm hoping and praying that he changes. But if he doesn't change, you call me, and I will personally come to your house and protect you from him.
Thank you.
Okay? Let's go. Everyone's got something to say about the Steve Wilkos Show. Whether you love it, hate it, or have a funny comment, drop a line in Steve's mailbag at stevewilkos.com. If I read your email on the air, I'll send you a free t-shirt. Here's my first email. I'm a 44-year-old mother of 6 from Scotland. I think your show is great. You are a person who obviously has seen a lot in life, and that experience certainly comes through in how you deal with your guests. I wish you all the luck with your second season, Liz. There are going to be some nice surprises come up in our second season, Liz. Thanks for watching in Scotland. Joe wrote this next email. I am 38 and have never recovered from the abuse I went through as a child. Normally, men like myself don't ever say anything, but your show has given me a ray of hope for the young children out there being abused. I praise you for your efforts. Give them hell, Steve. Joe, for you and for all those who have been abused, I will. Here's my last email. You say on your show that you were a cop, but you obviously have forgotten what it's like to be a cop. It certainly seems you have forgotten the code of law enforcement. Think about that, and maybe you'll come back to the reason why you started the show. Frank. The experiences I've had as a cop on the streets of Chicago will live with me forever. I still live by the code of ethics and the code of conduct for law enforcement officials. When I step on this stage, those codes come with me. Frank, why did you start watching this show, and how is it impacting you?